Good afternoon, everyone. You all look very happy. What? That's something. I'm looking sad. So I have an upset stomach. My stomach is sad. So that is visible on face. So how many days since you started writing these tests? 1 month, 3 days. So 33 days. How many tests you have written? 14. So everyone sitting here have written 14 tests. Okay. Do you see any progress in terms of how you are preparing now, how you were preparing earlier after writing 14 tests? What is the progress that you have seen? Hmm? So, acha, very nice. So you're seeing increased confidence. Then, acha, you're able to structure your answers well. What about life? Hmm? Okay, then essay, ethics. Okay. So how many of you are coming to me frequently? Essay, ethics, essay, evaluation, ethics. So I see 4, and 6, 7 people have come. So what about others? What is preventing you? Oh, if you see me, you just come inside directly. I'm like a god here. No, I come like, when you are writing test, you can just speak into the room. If these people can come regularly, you can also come, right? I mean, whenever you can come, they can also come. You can text also, right? So you can text and let me know when you want essay or ethics review. I'll give you a timing. During that time, you can come and sit inside. Okay. If I have given you timing, no, you directly come and sit inside. So don't wait outside. Usually, what happens? Many people just come because they see me. Most of them might not have taken any appointment or anything. So if you have taken appointment given time, then better come and sit inside. If I am giving feedback to someone, you can also listen to that, right? That actually helps you. You might have written the same essay, same answer. And also, there was no option for you, right? You would have written the same essay. Okay. So how was that feeling? Having no choices. It was saving time to select the topic. Okay. Nice way to see that. So that was the purpose actually, to force you to think, not give you any options, choices, so that you come up with some ideas. You come up with you force yourself, right? Ultimately, that is what actually matters in the examination. So you know the nature of examination. Last 2 to 3 years, how it has become very dynamic, unpredictable, in the sense that you read something and then the nature of the questions, the nature of the essay topics in the exam, you cannot predict beforehand, right? So you can prepare broadly on education, but you don't know on education what specific or even what broad topic is going to come as an essay topic. So this exercise of, again and again forcing yourself and using that presence of mind in the examination all will improve that aspect of finding out more dimensions, right? Even when you have limited knowledge, right? So if you can improve that, so I keep calling it as like exam smartness. So you call presence of mind. So those who have strong presence of mind, those who go through this exercise, develop that ability to write something sensible. So they are the ones who are actually getting more marks. And then when you come for feedback through evaluation and personal, we will tell you how to make it even more better, right? In the examination hall, it may not be your best effort, best outcome. With feedback, it will actually improve, right? So that is what I think in the first orientation, that's what I told you, right? Feedback really helps you immensely. It can be one-time feedback, two-time feedback for your essay, for your ethics answers, but it definitely helps. So that is why whenever there are not many people, right? It looks like it is crowded. Half the crowd is for discount and concession. Other half crowd is for taking feedback. Okay. So you can come anytime and get the feedback. Apart from this, are you able to manage optional subject and prelims preparation, CSAT preparation? No. So you're just immersed in GS preparation. Okay. How will you find time for CSAT? Are you doing CSAT? Only before the test, the weekly test, CSAT. You are giving that test regularly. That is very good. So how many of you are giving these prelims marks regularly? Everyone. Okay. Is there any increase in marks of prelims since you started 1 month ago? So you're able to see some increase in marks in prelims also. Everyone. That's very encouraging. So why does that happen? Why do you see improvement? Okay, clarity of thought. So yeah, I have this concept, or what I've told people, if you do more of answer writing, it will help in prelims. And it has been proven like in the past. But for you people, if you are able to do regularly, every test and then give prelims marks, by the time March and April, you will be able to score 110 plus consistently, right? But in addition to these marks, are you solving any extra questions every day? No. So throughout the day, you are preparing for the test. Reading books, reading notes. You have to give time. So my suggestion is that, let us say, what is the next test? Geography it is for mains test. So prelims. Okay. Acha, you don't have mains test on today. Which topic? Same topic. Okay. Okay. So, okay. What is the next topic for next test? Mains test. After ethics? Geography. Okay. So my suggestion is that when you are reading for geography as part of this core mains test, parallelly solve related prelims questions every day. You may not do mains answer writing for previous GS questions, geography questions, but there are hundreds of thousands of geography questions. So one start with again previous year UPSC, and then previous insights and other quality test series, any compilation if you can get. In addition, you also solve questions, especially static questions. It can be geography, art and culture from other examinations, EDS, NDA, other objective exams conducted by UPSC. So take questions every day. Let us say you have 3 days, 4 days for next geography test. Ensure that at least 300, 400 questions you solve on those topics. Like just solve. You don't have to analyze them. You don't have to, make notes out of them, right? So this, how will it help? One, for mains, you will get many examples. So when you go through these questions, and the most important benefit is that, again, so you will be able to face this uncertainty in the prelims. If you do this 50 to 100 questions on day-to-day basis every day, in the real examination, you will completely rely on your skills rather than the knowledge component, right? Knowledge will be there. You would have gained because of reading, revising, but you cannot rely on that knowledge component in the real examination. Ultimately, you will have to rely more on your skills, right? Elimination, guessing, logical deduction, reasoning, whatever it is. So that aspect, if needs to be improved, every day you need to do that. Somebody who does that, again, you said your confidence has increased now after 1 month. But after 3-4 months, if you do this exercise, your confidence level will be like, so I should have applied for forest service. Right. That is a confidence level. And this will take care of all 4 GS papers and ethics essay. You'll feel confident about mains answer writing. So the two left out components are CSAT and optional. Somehow you have to, now the next part is geography. You leave out certain topics which you might have already studied, right? Accommodate optional and CSAT on day-to-day basis. So you cannot ignore these two till February. right? At least optional. After January or February, you cannot focus on optional. So your temperature will be high, your tension will be high. You cannot accommodate. If you cannot accommodate it now, you cannot do it then. Absolutely no. So this is the right time. Okay. So what you can do anyway, you are going to read geography again as part of prelims, right? Again, all the static from the month of March, April, May, you are again going to revise 2 to 3 times. So it's okay to miss out few things, but ensure that optional 1 to 2 hour every day you do it. If you've already completed or if you're still going through coaching, increase time accordingly, right? If you are reading it for the first time, 3 to 4 hours for optional. If you are revising, making notes, again 3 hours. If you have already completed everything, 2 hours for answer writing. The previous year questions. Everything you do, I mean, I know that it is hectic, but you have capability to study for 12 hours, right? If you judiciously divide your day and save time here and there, which you might be wasting knowingly, unknowingly, right? So that discipline, if you bring, you can study with focus for 12 hours. So in these 12 hours, you can actually accommodate optional and CSAT as well. So CSAT, ourselves, we are giving 5 questions. Apart from full length test must be given. If you have failed in CSAT in previous prelims, the recent prelims, so my recommendation is do 2 full length CSAT papers every week. Okay. So how to do? Don't prepare for them. The CSAT papers. Okay. So you don't prepare every day. You do like half an hour, 1 hour, some random question, right? But don't prepare systematically in the sense that again you need to prepare for this uncertainty. Use more of your common sense. Use more of your right aptitude skills, whatever you have. So these 2 full length papers, try to give minimum 50 to 60 questions you need to attempt, right? If you want to prepare, you can prepare. I'm not saying that you shouldn't. If you haven't prepared at all till now CSAT, do every day half an hour to 1 hour preparation. At any cost, don't ignore, irrespective of how brilliant you are in CSAT. You might have cleared previously. You may be, pro, like, you have cleared CAT with 99.9 percentile, right? You rejected IIM Ahmedabad. But even then, you try to do it. So don't take anything for granted. So my understanding again, with respect to how the examination is evolving, so they are very serious about selecting people who can make decisions on the spot, intelligent guys, girls, right? So guys include girls also, or the gender neutral? Who told you? No, nowadays, like in school, like daughters of my cousins, and all, they talk each other guy. So girls, we are from this Kannada rural medium, no? So these are all new. Like you call her guy, right? Okay. So where was I? Oh, like CSAT, I had, yeah. So like her, like can take decisions on the spot, who are brilliant, who have strong presence of mind, who can think innovatively, who can think out of the box, who can take risk. Officers who can take risk, who are not afraid of anything, system, people, right? Who can go getter kind of attitude. So that is the thing they are trying in the examination, right? So it is not that UPSC wants to filter non-serious or anything. It is that there are people who don't study much but are getting selected because by nature they are smart. There are some people, right? They are doing enough to get good marks in optional and GS 1, 2, 3, and rest of them they are able to use their smartness. And nowadays I keep talking about attitude, right? So it doesn't end with scoring better marks in mains. You know that trend, right? Very well. So mains, we used to tell like 2 years ago, your rank is in mains. You score very high in mains, you can get very good rank. So now we cannot tell that. It is like, every year the marks of mains is getting reduced. 875 is highest, I think, in mains, that rank 1 guy. this year, right? Main score. So last year it was 900 plus. Before that 904 something. Before that it was 940 plus. Right? Before that it was again 980 something. So it is getting reduced. So this year when you write, these people write mains, I think IS score will be somewhere around 850, or it can be lower than that. Now the weightage given for interview is increasing. So the margin, between the cutoff and the top score is getting reduced. So you will not have innate advantage with respect to either optional or any paper here. The scores are equalized from GS papers to even essay also. Around 141, 142 is the top score, except barring, like I have heard 2 people have scored around 149 something, but majority toppers have scored 142, 142. So that might come down to again 135, the highest score in essay in the real examination. Again, that is again because of the nature of the topics, right? They will become more abstract. The kind of topics we are also giving here, right? So you need to be prepared not only with respect to scoring good marks in mains, but also scoring good marks in interview as well. So usually that thought, like for example, you are now not thinking about CSAT optional. You are thinking, but you are not doing anything about these two. You know that they are important, right? The similar seriousness should come with respect to interview. This is most important. You won't realize, after writing mains, the kind of panicking that is happening nowadays with respect to interview. So that I am witnessing, right? Because people are getting rejected in the interview stage now. So if you score even 160 to 170, it is not guarantee. It's no more guarantee that you are going to get rank, despite having good score in main. So I'm not scaring you, but that brings to another thing. How will you be prepared for interview? Of course, the knowledge will help. So what I was talking about, that presence of mind, the smartness, right? So here in terms of writing, you are getting better at it. Okay. So in the interview, in terms of articulating it through fewest words possible, right, in 30-40 seconds. So that needs to be improved as well. Okay. So maybe tweeting might help. I'm not suggesting that. So you may have to do some group discussions, or now and then, not on a regular basis. But again, your thoughts must be good. So for that bit of extra reading, extra efforts, right? I had talked about in the orientation, I remember that some reading habit or writing habit must be there, right? Reading habit, writing habits de-linked from what you are doing on a regular basis. Okay. So it can be some science fiction, non-fiction, whatever it is. Some writing, like it takes like 10 to 15 minutes or half an hour maximum. You read something, today there is Shashi Tharoor article, editorial, right, about constitution in the Hindu. You read the article and you write in your own words, around 100, 200 words. You can maintain a blog, right? So restrict to maximum 200 words, but regularly on a 100-word basis, the entire crux of the article or what you think about the article. So it might sound too much to do, but this must be done. Like, I'm honest with you, right? The way the examination is evolving is kind of biased now. Those who have access to, better guidance, better tools to refine themselves, better education, who come from better education, they are getting selected in more numbers, right? So now, irrespective of where you come from, you have this guidance, you have opportunity to improve those skills, right? So you have to continuously work on them, right? So optional, that like the scores are now stuck at 270, 280, the highest scores in each optional, except again, there will be exceptions. And why do we see these exceptions? What is your insights? So why do we see these exceptions where the rank one has scored 320 in Anthro? There may be one more person who has scored 300 plus, but rest of them are in this, again, the toppers, 260 to 280 range. Those have missed below 240. How do you put it? What do you call it? Quoting the exact author name. Hmm? Hmm. It's reading standard sources, right? Not sticking to notes, either in optional or to some extent to some chapters in GS also, some topics in GS. So if you should, I mean, diversify, not too much of it for important topics. For your optional, you will know that there is a book of highest standard, right? Like think internationally, like Indian might have written very good book about it, but there may be an international version of that book for that particular subject, right? If you can download PDF or if you can get access from some library, right? For only selected topics, you don't have to read entire textbook, so don't misunderstand me here. So just for selected topics, the most important topic that get repeated every year, distinguish your answer through your, the knowledge that you have gained by reading standard sources, right? So I think every year when they see that, very few people do that, right? So those their answers will get more marks, okay, in any optional subject. So that you need to keep constantly in mind. So it is going to be very hectic. And again, this exam is something not a silly exam, right? You know the importance of this examination. You know the importance of the job that you are going to get into. And I believe that exam demands something extraordinary from your side, right? So it cannot be routine, like you read two textbook and you treat it as burden itself. So you should have that personality to do more of it, right? Again and again. So you cannot get tired by reading few things that you think is acting as burden. Again, that personality you have to overcome. So you shouldn't be satisfied with what you are doing. I mean, you need to have that attitude of doing more, but within the framework of syllabus. Again, not moving beyond the syllabus. This I am emphasizing because when I look at essay, when I look at your answers like ethics answers, you see very cliche kind of examples that many people repeat similar examples, similar names, right? Similar quotes. And this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, like since 7 years, like people are not living this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam in their conclusion, right? So whenever there is a conclusion, this Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam for any essay comes. Okay. So similarly, there are when we ask people to pick quotes from these epics or some Gita or something, and then there is standard quote. What? Nishkama karma and some any Sanskrit people here. What is that shloka from Gita? Ma kadachana phaleshu something. Karmanyavadikadaste ma phaleshu. So now people are writing this also. They write, but they don't follow it. Right? They know it very well. So when it comes to essay, again, some people write essays like motivational speakers. The topics are like that. There is nothing good or bad. Your thinking makes it. So they write it like a motivational speaker. So they don that role. But again, you don't apply to yourself. So here, the ultimate success in this examination depends on how focused you are on the process, right? Completely getting detached from the outcome. Outcome can be the today's test, right? The next prelims test, the upcoming test, the actual prelims. If you practice on daily basis, not getting attached with this outcome, whatever it is, outcome in the relationship, outcome in whatever it is. So if you don't focus on that, if you focus only on the process, like if you immerse yourself, that right now you are listening to this, so let me listen with focus. After this, you are going to read something, write something. Let your focus be on giving your best for that particular task. So then unknowingly your abilities will enhance like anything. You won't realize it, but you will see so much progress in terms of development of your skills, everything. Okay. Has anyone observed it? Is there any Nishkama Karmi Yogi? Anyone here? No yogi here. Anyone from UP? So you all of you follow politics also? Don't follow politics. So just read what is relevant to the examination. Some people have a habit of bringing politics, religion in the essay also. Okay. And have this optimistic outlook, right? So if you read the Hindu, you will easily get into depression sometimes, right? Right. But don't get into depression. You read it with the detachment, sense of detachment. Shashi Tharoor is blaming someone, it is his opinion, right? So you read it with a sense of detachment, you just to learn his perspective, so what he wants to say. But you don't get influenced, affected by it. That's what I meant by having constructive attitude. So he may be telling something negative, try to see positive in that, right? And try to come up with a counter argument as well. Okay, something positive if he is saying negative. And this is important because if you are thinking like that, like an activist, like a Naxalite on day-to-day basis, that will trickle down to your essay and ethics answers also, some answers. And in the interview also, unknowingly you will have that kind of views, right? So that has become my task, like changing your temporarily, changing your opinions, right? Right. So I tell, see, you are sounding like the people who are jailed in Bhima Koregaon incidents. So calm down. So speak something like this. So let your words, sentence be music to their ears, right? So once you get into labasna, then you become good guy again, right? So that's what we say. And most of them have got like handsome scores. Will not upload this to YouTube. 190 plus, 200 plus. Those who scored less marks in previous attempt, the intelligent people, uh, because they thought that they were intelligent and they were giving intelligent kind of answers. People think that giving liberal answer is intelligent answer. Right? It can be other way around. So these are all the things I'm telling. What happens is something about conditioning, how you condition yourself, right? On day-to-day basis, it becomes very difficult to change it in the last moment. Even when you have 1 or 2 months after main before interview, it becomes difficult. So any negative issue happening, so try to see it holistically, right? From every perspective, rather than from your own this echo chamber effect, right? So you read something, you listen something all the time. The internet provides you the same kind of opinion. So don't be affected by that. So try to understand different perspectives, and that again automatically will enrich your essay also, right? So it is not that difficult to think about different dimensions when you on day-to-day basis think like that, right? About the issue that you are facing or about whatever you are reading on day-to-day basis from textbooks. Okay. But Vignesh, so he looks like Nitish K. Like, what is your name? You, Tejasvi. You are from Bangalore. Bangalore lo ಹುಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಿದ್ದ Delhi University. You are also law graduate. So why law graduates are coming more numbers to civil services? Overlapping, that you have studied something. Your optional is law. Natural. You're good in law. Good. So there is no difference. Like 2 years ago, we used to discourage. We wanted to go with law optional. So I wanted to hear even better answer than that. My ideal answer, like, apart from overlapping with the syllabus, that you as a lawyer can, the answer which you will give in the interview. You have studied law from a reputed law college. Why do you want to get into civil services? Mhm. Mhm. Okay, okay. Nice, good. Maybe we can leave out the word politics because that can lead to other set of questions. All right. So without using the word politics, like the kind of hurdles your family faced in social work and how you wanted more certainty, more permanence or something. What will be your answer? You thought about it. Hmm. Okay, you want to get into policy. Good. Hmm. Very good. So others, based on your background, you can think something similar. Any doctors here? Who doctors? So doctors have the standard answer. They used to have standard answer. Now I have kind of changed. So as a doctor, I can treat one patient. And as an IAS officer, I can. No, that is very much true. What happens is that on any given day, if there are four doctors who are going to same board, and if all of them give the same answer, howsoever noble the answer is, howsoever good intention the answer is, for a listener, it, yeah, looks like textbook answer. So you need to think from their perspective also. Huh? Like engineer, like you have so many engineering, civil, mechanical, computer science. So after mains, we'll start that. Okay. So based on which particular branch of engineering you are coming from, we have answers, right? And again, the answer is not like that I give you, right? We'll explore your experience, your hobbies, your interests, how, till now what we have done. So what is your family business, if your father was a teacher or something. So based on all of this, we can come up with an answer. The answer, that will be there. Like I believe it's at subconscious level. You might not have thought about it, given a shape to that answer, right? So we always don't think about these things, right? But something is driving us towards that. So that we have to bring it out, give it a shape, and make it an answer. So when some answer is born out of your own experience, your own life, people believe it, right? So otherwise, if it becomes something detached from your personality, nobody will believe, right? It sounds artificial. So any doubts you have? So you are enjoying the. So you have written all the tests, lawyers, both of you. Any other lawyers here? No. So all are engineers. So two doctors, two lawyers, scientists. I mean, those who have studied science. One, two, three. Okay. Humanities. One, two. So rest of them engineers. Good. Some of them didn't try. Like, what are you? Oh, economist. Somebody sent me this photo of Geeta Gopinath. Some senior most IAS officers very proudly, taking photo with her. He wanted to be an IAS officer. He's from Mysore, right? So after 1 or 2 attempts, I think she left. I think I don't know how many attempts. She left the preparation and then she went for higher studies. And so people who are exhausting attempt, that's what I'm suggesting. So before Geeta Gopinath, I was suggesting the same thing. You don't make it, go for something bigger than this. So where these people will come and take selfie with you. So you can make it happen actually. Some people are making it happen. I haven't reached that stage yet. Students are coming and taking selfie. The future officers. So in Gulbarga, Bijapur, I tell them like, what am I like just a normal guy. Oh, sorry, you are celebrity. They say like, what celebrity? So what else? Everything is good. Oh yeah, I just wanted to have a conversation. There is nothing like I wanted to tell you something. So any problems that you are facing apart from CSAT optional, extra non-fiction, hobbies, and films, MCQs? Hmm. Hmm. So identify the causes of inflation. Government may not be the sole reason for inflation, right? There may be other reasons. Hmm. Hmm. See, there are issues which are very objective, right? Some economic issues, some issues related to science and tech. So where facts matter more than truth. There was an essay topic also, right? So how people are, huh? No, here in these issues I'm talking about. So where in economics and in science and tech, facts are more important in the sense that if you give proper data, if you back up your arguments with data, so that itself becomes the truth. But there are like in social issues, there which are more subjective, right? So you have to diversify your sources, something beyond the Hindu. So go with Niti Aayog report, go with all these government agencies reports. Mhm. You said according to international this much. However, the truth is according to Niti Aayog. Right. Let's see, as an administrator, will you believe international report or Niti Aayog report? Hmm? You yourself is supplying the data to Niti Aayog, right? From ground. Based on that, Niti Aayog is coming up with the figures. So that is what constructive is about right now. Not antagonizing the government, right? In a very subtle manner, praising the government, but not to the extent of sounding what? Hmm. Sycophant, psychophancy. Hmm. Hmm. You can still say good it is. No, the removal you would say it's because of the pressure group topic is there in paper too, right? How pressure groups can go to an extent of being irrational sometimes, right? Can pressure government to take even good intention laws or whatever it is. You can go with this argument actually. Hmm? So you have to support farm laws even now. If at all there is a question in answers, you have to support them. So you have to support APS. Now the Supreme Court has supported widening of the road for security reasons, Chardham Road, right? That is the reality now, and that is appreciated. So that is also reality. So we see various variation in marks. I think I talked about like GS. People don't show GS copies, but try to bring bit of analysis in GS papers also. 1, 2, 3 papers. So evaluators sometimes they might encourage you to write more facts examples, but in addition to that, bring at least some 30% of the component must be analysis, especially GS1 and GS3. Okay, just because you learn, except the questions like geography questions, like tectonic, what analysis you will, right? except those kind of questions where some amount of subjectivity is there. So don't make entire answer factual. Okay. If you don't have any questions, then we'll wind up. For interview. Uh-huh. So I suggest, anyway, you have to mention hobbies and interests after you write mains. So if you can have 2-3 distinct hobbies, for example, reading non-fiction in the genre of the security issues, right, or foreign policy, something related to environmental policy or something. So if you can cultivate that hobby or interest and continuously read such kind of articles or even books, expert opinions, you can put them as your hobbies, and most of the interview will revolve around those words. Those kind of words trigger similar questions from the board. Okay, so they will deviate from your optional, your job experience. So if they see these words, social issues, economic issue, security, something like that in the hobby section, they want to really know how in depth your understanding is about. Have you mentioned it just for the sake of mentioning, or do you really have in depth understanding? So that I believe you will gain by reading non-fiction books related to those topics. So you identify the most important books. Maybe we can have a list of 20 books by the time you go to interview. So have a target of reading 20 books in that particular genre. So name of the books you can collect. There are book lists given by Bill Gates, Obama. There, summer reading list, winter reading list, autumn reading list. They put it on Twitter now and then. So I buy and keep them, thinking I'll read someday, right? So they are very good books. Okay, you can buy them, and whenever daily 1 or 2 chapters if you read, and there is one app, Blinkist. So that also you can download, and you can just read the summary of the book in 12 to 16 minutes. They will give the entire crux of the book in points. So that really helps you get the essence of the book in a very short span of time. And then you have to note them down. And they can enrich your again essay answers. So you should have that mindset. So whatever you learn something different, whatever experience you go through, try to bring them in your answers, essays, right? That itself will make your writing unique, stand out from the crowd. So this ability to interlink, what you call multidisciplinary approach, whatever it is. So that will actually help you really grow as an individual, distinguish your writing, your speaking when you are giving an answer. Okay. So what do you say? Why so serious? Same case. So you have to read. If you're not reading, other than reading, you can. People put so many hobbies, but they don't ask questions, right? So, like they have diversified these interests. They have invented new key words for like traveling, for example. Hmm? Uh, Budget traveling, frugal traveling, solo traveling, spiritual traveling, in eco traveling. So many traveling types are there, right? But it is traveling only. And so they won't ask if there is nothing in your depth, then they will ask, mention the last 3 places that you travel to, right? If they know these 3 places in and out, then they will grill you, right? That, so did you visit that place? So in that place, that monument was there. Did you, observe its Bangi? Like, so what does it? Anyone been to Badami? Badami caves? Badami caves you've seen. How many caves are there? What are the most unique thing that you observed in Badami caves? Hmm? What? 5 years ago you went. Okay, okay. So for me, I went recently. The most striking thing was the names of the sculptors. The names of they have, you know, engraved, right? That is the word. They have engraved their names in the, what do you call this? Art and culture. Hmm? Ah, so gate is fine. So there they have engraved. Like I was surprised to see that, you know, the names are like Koli Manchi. So this was one name. Like he has done it for 2 caves. It would have taken 30-40 years to do that. They spent entire life, you know, these are like monolithic, right? Monoliths. So there is one rock you went inside, you know, caving in, sculpting the entire temple, that structure. So their names, more than the beauty of those things. So I was wondering who might have done that at that time, like 600 years ago. 600? It was around 600, 1,400 years ago, right? They have, yeah. So that was like unique for like for me individually. So for you, it may be how the Varaha culture, how distinct it is, something. So if there is an interview question, I would have said something like this. Right. Mhm. Mhm. So that entirely depends on how many times you revise right now. You do multiple revisions right now, then and if you have notes for ready for everything, I think it will take 1-2 days only to revise. That's what people who go for mains do, right? They have only one day before mains. So entire year they have prepared, they have set up things, they have written so much, they have revised it so much. All they need to do is glance through. So it depends on how you are doing it now. So what failures you have faced? Hmm. So you wrote mains last year. Any motivational speaker here? Why? You have to come out of it. That's what I meant by detachment, focusing on the process, right? Even when you are writing mains, you write and forget it. I mean, you should cultivate that attitude, right? So why you don't cultivate it is you are so much attached to this. You are attached not only because of your uh, self motivated, because there are pressure, there are expectations that push you towards ensuring that you definitely succeed in this examination. So that craving, that desire to succeed is nothing but right attachment. So if you ask me, you shouldn't have that kind of feeling only, right? So that I must succeed. I mean, this is the biggest problem in this examination, in any examination. Right now, the pressure won't be that much, but when you keep telling yourself that, you know, this attempt you need to clear, this attempt you need to clear prelims, CSAT, whatever it is, so that pressure builds up actually unknowingly. So on the day of examination, before the day of examination, it explodes, right? The best thing is not to worry at all, right? You are writing core test, you treat every core test as what? So your mains test or whatever it is, just focus on that. Hmm? So there is no other way around. I mean, you have to. So there another level is there, that is being badass or what. So being badass means like, you know, you don't care about, right? So you have this rebellious attitude. Even if you fail in this exam, then you will ensure that you will succeed so well that, you know, hmm, you can achieve bigger things. So having that bigger thought, bigger purpose, something beyond this examination, beyond the services, will help you come out of that fear, right? Again, I don't term it as failure. Like nowadays, I'm tweeting about these things. So it's a setback. It's a very minor setback in your very big life. So don't worry about it. So there are many ways how you can actually bounce back. That ability to bounce back is what distinguishes many the people here, the successful people here. It has that ability to bounce back immediately, right? So the idea is that as a civil servant, in for you actually, from you it started. So think big, okay? So don't worry. Not IAS will become something big. And again, some becoming bigger what? Like ultimately everybody wants is peace, happiness. Last night I had upset stomach. All I want is you don't want money, you don't want to travel in your Benz car, right? You cannot sit, you cannot stand, you can like the gastric problem in the midnight. So then you become philosopher suddenly, right? When you have that gastric problem. You don't want anything, even wife, children also. Like so all you want is that normal, yeah, get rid of that problem, right? So only when we are put into that extreme thing, we realize the value of life, right? But if we can do it consciously every day, every moment, that you have healthy life, good life, enjoy. Okay. Sorry, I'm talking about myself, but one last thing I'll tell. Somebody asked me like, didn't ask, I only told them. So whenever I'm interacting with my children, I always think that as if this is my last day, right? So I've cultivated it actually, so that you don't compromise playing with them. You play with them. You know, spend time with them as if this is your last day. So I don't care. Sometimes I run away. Like if you think about them, you run away from the institution. Anyway, I can come back, evaluate SSR tomorrow, so that can wait. But those moments, right? Don't get emotional. So wish you all the best. Study well. So keep focused on the preparation, and anything beyond anything else, just stay calm, relaxed, be happy, enjoy whatever you are doing. Enjoy that experience of gaining knowledge, right? Enjoy that experience of becoming better writer. Feel that the skills that you are improving. I'm facing difficulty in finishing the question paper in allotted time. Could you provide some suggestions? So my suggestion was the till 2 to 3 months, until next 2 to 3 months. Don't worry about completing the paper, right? So till January or February, till February, focus on the quality. So out of 10 questions, you may write 4, 5, but ensure that they get highest marks. 6 is highest marks for out of 10, right? Till 8 we give for 15 markers. So 5.5 to 6 must be the aim. So don't chase completion of paper. Again, that is because of the mindset of you want to write more, you want to score more. But try to score more by writing few quality answers. Sir, about time management, I am able to complete only 5 questions in 1 hour. I think 5 questions in 1 hour, you slowly increase to 8 questions. How many of you are able to cross 5 questions now without taking any extra time within 1 hour? That is very good. Nice. So it will happen eventually. Those who are writing only 5, but let focus be on quality. 8 must be your highest target, right? So then if you can achieve 8, you can write 5 to 6 to 7 quality answers, right? Then 6 3 it is in 1 hour, right, that you are writing? Yeah. But in 1 hour, 10 questions we are giving, and you are able to write more than 5 already. So that is very good actually. So in 3 hours, you'll be able to write easily 17 to 18. So that is the logic. 6 if you can write, it turns out to be 18, right? You can write 7 or 8 highest. So 20 you will easily complete. So inability to complete the paper can be because of lack of revision also, lack of content, right? But for that, what you need, again, there is one problem that I'm seeing when people are writing answers. So you're spending more time on decoding the question, trying to come up with the structure for the question. So for that, I have this exercise, small exercise. Every day you take like 5 random questions. It can be from secure from any source. So only spend 5 minutes and write the entire structure of the question answer. One minute for the question, right? You read the question, you understand its demand, right? And then create subparts within 1 minute, so that the time spent on thinking in the examination hall while reading the question, trying to break it into parts is saved, right? So you can just do it, like when you are sitting, you can take 5 questions and just write the skeleton part. So these are the 3 parts, these are the subheading, and if you can remember one or two important example, you can write them also. Fine, all the best. Thank you.